Hey, Roob.
Hey, Dave.
Welcome back.
Good to be back.
Is it? How
It
was
is.
it? How was the trip?
It was great. It was terrific. We'll get into that, but yeah, had a fantastic time in Canton and all over northeastern Ohio. Found a great rail trail up in Cuyahoga National Park. Have you been there? Is that the place you told me to check out?
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's nice.
beautiful. Yeah. So went for a run there. But yeah, it was fantastic being there. I love the Hall of Fame. I love that stuff. And,
Yeah. Looking forward to hearing some stories about the Hall of Fame, about EA going in. That's very cool. Let's start with practice today, though. It was day 8 of training camp. Pretty nice weather again. You missed Friday. Was the coolest training camp practice I can ever remember. Players were just like hanging out after practice. You never see that.
Yeah, it was beautiful out in northeastern Ohio as well on Friday. But I'm sure once I get back, I wasn't at practice today. I was flying back from Cleveland, but I'm sure once I'm back at practice, it'll be 100 again.
It was a nice little change of pace Friday, and then today was nice. It was just a beautiful sunny day, not too hot, but it wasn't as intense a practice. Today was what they call a yellow day, so kind of intermediate. I'd imagine they'll ramp up either Monday or Tuesday and go full pads again. That'd be my guess. But today lasted about an hour, just under an hour and 40 minutes. Good work, though. They did some team drills. They did 7-on-7s, some 1-on-1s. So we'll get into all of that. Let's start with the injury report, though, because one big addition to the injury report, A.J. Brown has a hamstring injury, did not practice. He was out there in a hoodie and watching practice, but I'd imagine with any kind of soft tissue thing and one of your star players, they're not going to rush him back on the field.
It could be a while with those type of things. Look, opening day is not that far off. It's a month away. So I would think he'd be fine, but this is an injury that couldn't be slow to heal. So lucky it happened early on.
Exactly. Yeah. The timing is everything. And to give some context, on Friday, it was the most intense practice. It had like a scrimmage feel to it by design. And in the second half of that practice, he wasn't taking any more reps. So you figured either they're giving him some veteran time or he tweaked something. Turns out he did tweak something. I'd assume he'd be fine.
I would think so.
There's plenty of time here. And but they're also definitely not going to rush him back. That's the last thing you need is a hamstring to get tweaked again, and then you got to restart that process. So right now they're going to be overly cautious with him.
Yeah, and it'll be a good chance to see some of these other receivers who are fighting for roster spots. We'll all miss the AJ versus Quignon battles, which have been a real highlight of camp. But yeah, got to get him healthy. He's the franchise.
Yeah,
part of the franchise.
Part of it. Yeah. They have too many good players for him to be the franchise.
That's fair.
Yeah. Some other injury notes, guys who didn't practice today: Zach Bond, Lewis Seen, Montreal Johnson, Terrace Marshall, Mac McWilliams, Ben Van Sumeren, Trevor Keegan. Trevor Keegan is a new one. Lewis Seen's a new one. The others have missed some time now.
Yeah, and most of those guys some of those guys have roster spots, but it's tough. And, guys are not helping themselves. It's not their fault. Guys get hurt. But if you're Lewis Seen, you're already a long shot. You haven't done a whole lot in camp. A guy like Montreal Johnson, I think they like him, but hamstring, if he's out for a while. Terrace Marshall's a guy who wasn't having a great camp, but I think was in the running at least for one of those backup wide receiver spots. So the more time they miss, the tougher it's going to be for him.
Yeah, Mac McWilliams obviously being a rookie. He was having a really nice camp. He's missed a couple of days now.
Yeah, I think he's going to make the team.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think he has to worry that way, but it would be good for him to be out there. Mm-hmm. He's a fun player. Yeah,
he's been playing well. Hopefully Ben Van Sumeren can get back soon. Fullback experience we want at training camp. So, it is funny how injuries in training camp just mean completely different things for different players. Like Zach Bond, it's funny because a year ago it would have meant everything to him if he got hurt. But this year, not that he doesn't want to be practicing. He, of course, wants to practice. But when he's missing time, he gets to stroll out there. He's hanging out with N'Kobe. He's watching practice, and he gets to have some fun. Whereas, if you're a Terrace Marshall, you're missing practice going, oh, man, this might be my chance.
Yeah. Those guys got to get back soon.
All right. Limited participants today: Devontae Smith, Nolan Smith, Jahad Campbell, Drew Makuba, EJ Jenkins and Charlie Hewlett. The two returning back today, or I guess EJ Jenkins came back today too, but Devontae Smith and Nolan Smith from that concussion, Devontae Smith from that back tightness. Good sign for both of those guys to be back on the field.
Yeah, especially for Nolan, because concussions, we've seen them last a couple of weeks, if not more occasionally. So generally the faster you get back, the less serious it is. They're all serious. It's a brain injury, but it's good that this one didn't kind of, turn into a long-term thing.
Yeah, and Devontae Smith actually participated in some team drills today, limited because he's not taking the full complement of reps, but nice for the first team offense to have Devontae back, especially without AJ out there. That first team offense without both of those guys is completely different.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Charlie Hewlett. See, you don't see a lot of long snappers on the injury report.
Yeah. Older long snapper.
May have to give a call.
10-year vet.
Well, somebody out there is available.
That is true. Drew Makuba still limited. No team drills yet for Makuba. I would think maybe this week that's a possibility. Him coming back. He wasn't sure. We talked to him after practice. He wasn't sure about the game on Thursday. For most players, the game doesn't mean anything, but I'd really like to see him in some preseason action.
Yeah, I would think most of the guys who didn't practice probably won't play Thursday. We'll see. Somebody could come.
Well, he
back.
was limited, so I'm thinking maybe he gets full before then.
Maybe. But yeah, those are the kind of guys you want to see. I want to see him play.
Depth chart stuff. Adoree Jackson got the first crack at the outside corner job again today. So that's, if we're keeping track at home, 5 for Adoree, 3 for Keely Ringo. But Keely still rotates in with the first team. Had a nice play today again. So he's, to me, even though he's not getting as many first team reps, he's started to turn his camp around. And I think he's been much better over the last 3 or so days of practice.
So as soon as I left.
Yeah, maybe Keely just doesn't like you.
Wouldn't surprise me. No,
or he likes you so much that he's nervous when you're there and he's not playing well.
But yeah, I kept hitting reload, waiting for your obs every day, so I could read them. And that's the one thing that kind of really stood out, was that he seemed to be making more plays, because it was a rough first few days.
Sure.
Obviously, they want him to win the job. And I thought Adoree had some good days, and then he started struggling a little bit. So we'll see if the tide is turned over the next period of time here.
Mm-hmm. Safety, Sidney Brown still first team. Makuba, like we mentioned, not participating in team drills yet. Trotter and Campbell were the linebackers. Lance Dixon got some first team reps today.
How about that?
He's a guy who, might not make the team, but he's been playing pretty well at fall camp.
Yeah, practice squad guy, likely.
Yeah, very likely.
I was just going to go back to the previous one. I just think these reps are so big for Sidney after last summer.
Yeah. To
just get all these first team reps. And he's a guy, he's really taking advantage of them. So it's big for him.
Azeez Ojulari was up at outside backer opposite Jalix Hunt. So, yeah. That's all the depth chart stuff. Any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I appreciate the opportunity.
I thought the play of the day came on defense. Josh Uche, who we've talked about before, overall has had a pretty nice camp. I think he's been significantly better than Azeez Ojulari, and I did not expect that. But he had a great stab today against Kendall Lamb, who clearly setting up for a speed rep from Uche. He just hit him right in the chest and sent him to the backside. It was an impressive rep.
Yeah, and I think Uche, that's what you would do with him. You'd expect a speed rush. That's what he's shown so far in camp. So to show that kind of versatility is encouraging.
Yeah. There's something there.
He's also Kendall Lamb, but he's a veteran. He's played.
Yeah, I thought Kendall Lamb's a 10-year vet.
Yeah.
He started games in this league.
Yes, he has.
So
I don't know if he'll start anymore.
Hey, I think he's a serviceable player. I think that's almost more impressive that it came against Kendall Lamb than if it was a Darian Kennard or like the rookie Miles Hinton. To me, that's a 10-year vet.
Yeah, well, Uche's that's the stuff he needs to do. It's good to see him separating a little bit. Good to see one of those guys separating.
Yeah, they just really need one of them to be that guy.
Yeah,
and I don't know if they really care who it is.
Yeah,
it's just one of them. The best offensive play of the day was back shoulder Dallas Goedert from Jalen Hurts. We've seen that so much in training camp. it's just a pretty play. And Smile Mondon was in coverage, and he just had no prayer.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup for a rookie late round pick. And we've seen this before when AJ's not practicing. I mean, Jalen's just looking for Goddard. And
yeah, it's always a high volume for Goddard, and it doesn't always translate into the regular season. There are some games with like a high volume for Dallas, but it's there. It's an option for them. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, were you?
Yeah. I thought you were going to say something.
No.
Okay. The biggest possibility for a play today was a deep ball from Jalen Hurts. The longest ball he's thrown all camp. We haven't really seen a ton of deep passes from Jalen. He fired one. Jahan Dotson had a couple of steps on a Dory Jackson and just overthrew him. But it was one of those where it's in the air and you go, oh, this is going to be the lead to my obs. And then a little ahead of him.
It must have been such a disappointment.
A little bit.
Why do you think we haven't seen more of those plays? You have any thoughts on that?
It's a good question. They have not really been with the full offense for a lot of camp. You had Devontae out, now you have AJ out. I don't know.
Yeah. Still throw that ball to Devontae with AJ out.
The defense has been pretty good up front. They're getting some pressure. Maybe there's not enough time to let those plays develop.
Could be.
Yeah, I don't know. And maybe it's something where like that's kind of the best throw Jalen has. And honestly, I don't think they had enough of them last year.
Yeah.
It's tough to nitpick the Super Bowl winners, but I think that was kind of missing at times. So, I don't know. It's something that's on my radar.
I wonder, I mean, those are plays that if it's, it takes a while for guys to get back to the line of scrimmage. I wonder if Nick just wants, it just takes too long. He just wants to keep running plays and not waiting for guys to come back from 50 yards down the field.
I hope not.
That would be a Nick type thing.
That would be a bad reason.
It probably would be.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty
But
bad
I would like to see more of it.
Yeah.
Jalen's really good at it.
It's just a pretty deep ball. It always looks good off his hand.
He's got like the fourth most 40-yard completions in the league over the last 3 years. I think it's 3 years. But he's got like the 21st most pass attempts. So his percentage of deep balls is really high.
Yeah. That was a fun opportunity there. I should mention Devontae Smith did catch like a kind of a deep crosser at one point. He looks healthy. So I didn't take all the reps, but when he was out there, looked fast, looked like himself. So that's a good sign. Because that back with Devontae, that's not the first time we've seen him with a back designation on an injury report. So it's something that I'm just going to keep in mind going forward.
Definitely.
They didn't do one-on-ones today, offensive line, defensive line. It was 2-on-2s, which I don't necessarily love as much from an observation standpoint because they're running a lot of stunts, and it's like sometimes it's tough to like parse out what exactly happened and who had a good rep.
Yeah.
But there were some notes.
The best way to tell who had the good rep is to see how the coaches react.
Kind of, yeah. Sometimes that really does help.
Yeah.
Ty Robinson is fun in these drills. I'd really like to see them up his competition.
Yeah.
Here, Laken Vakalahi, he's gonna have a bruise on his shoulder from this club that Ty Robinson pulled off. I want to see more Ty Robinson.
It's the second time he's had a big rush against Vakalahi, and you'd like to see him. I'm excited about him. I do want to see more. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the game.
He had a batted pass the other night or the other day. That was good because that's something he did in college. And you want to see that translate.
He's just so big.
Yeah. Oh, and the one thing the other day, in one-on-ones, they had him rush off the edge, which is kind of a fun wrinkle.
I saw that in your ops.
Yeah, because he did that in Nebraska, but then you see him in person, you go, well, he's so big. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
They're going to do it.
Yeah.
Antoine Powell-Ryland, the rookie 7th-round pick. I noted as it was happening, this might be the first time I'm writing 52 in my notebook. He's had a really quiet summer, but this was a great rep against Kendall Lamb.
I didn't say anything.
Speed rush to the outside. Lamb was a right tackle for this one, but it was impressive. He beat him with a speed rush. You want to see that.
Yeah, interesting guy. Really super productive in college. So, yeah, that's good to see.
Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson passing off a stunt is just beautiful. It's they work so well together, and that's the goal. That's the goal when you have guys who have played together this long, that the communication is not spoken, but they know exactly how each other are going to play.
Yeah. These guys spend so much time together on the field, off the field, at the NovaCare. They're best friends. So they're like one mind, two players. And I think they love playing next to each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of size on that side of the line.
A little bit. Well, not a lot on the other side too.
That's true. Jalen Carter in 1-on-1s or 2-on-2s is unfair. Almost don't let him do it, because he just wrecks it.
Yeah. It's tough to even like evaluate a guy who's going
like
up.
Darian Kennard, kind of no chance.
Yeah.
Jalex Hunt had a nice rep against Brett Toth at tackle. Power rush, which is fun for Jalex, because similar to like Uche, who we're talking about, kind of known for his speed, but he looks bigger and stronger in year 2.
He does. I mean, I almost feel like I've been talking about him so much and writing about him. Like, this is a guy with 3 career sacks. Like, you don't want to get carried away, but I've seen everything. Like, I haven't seen anything to be discouraged that he can't be an 8 to 10 sack guy.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's funny because the two guys we've maybe talked about the most in this training camp are Jalex Hunt and Moro Ojima. 2 guys who together have 4 sacks?
Yeah.
In their careers.
Yeah.
They're going to play a ton of snaps this year, and they're going to be big keys. They need those guys to play well.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, I've been wrong about guys. You see guys who just look unbelievable in training camp and just doesn't happen for them. So I don't know. I can't guarantee it, but man.
But the tape's there too. Like, maybe the production hasn't been there, but you watch Moro's snaps from last year. He put in good snaps, and so did Jalex toward the end of the year.
Yeah, no doubt.
Jahad Campbell had a nice pass breakup against Anaya Smith, middle of the field. And it was a fun play because he got the drive on the football, and him running downhill at Anaya Smith is poor Nias.
Yeah, it's a little size advantage, a little brute strength advantage.
Practice ended. It was a lot of situational work today. Practice ended. Tight window throw from Dorian Thompson-Robinson, picked off by Dallas Gant, takes the knee. The defense went wild.
Those end of practice big plays, and I mean, you love seeing just the enthusiasm. And after a 2-hour practice, they're out there just jumping around and swarming the guy, and it's kind of cool. Parry Nickerson dynamic.
Yeah, big pick 6 last year.
Yeah, it's the end of practice.
Any of my odds and ends that you want to hit that spark your interest?
You mentioned Eli Ricks, who's an interesting guy to me.
Yeah.
I really like the player. I know he did some good and bad, it looks like, today.
Well, he had one bad rep, really. He got, and I don't even know if it was a bad rep. He got beat by Darius Cooper down the right sideline, and Taryn McKee threw a beautiful pass. McKee had a nice day. Threw a beautiful pass to Cooper. But other than that, Ricks made some plays today. Yeah,
I kind of thought he might get in the mix for some first-team reps. We haven't seen that, I don't think. I don't think he's taken any. I think he can play, and he's got great size and length, and he's not the most physical guy. He's really skinny, but he's going to be on the team. I mean, he was last year and he didn't play at all. So, and they need corners, so depth. I'd like to see him. I see him mixed in with. I guess they want to see as much of the other 2 guys as possible. And I guess realistically, Ricks isn't going to win the job.
Yeah.
So you have the other 2 guys fight it out. But I like Ricks.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about him. And I think they like him too. He wouldn't be here this long without playing. He played a little bit as a rookie last year.
Played significant. I think he played a few hundred snaps.
Yeah. Last year, it really took a step back.
Yeah. They had,
through no fault of his own.
Isaiah Rodgers was the biggest reason for that.
Yeah. And I mean, they drafted 2 corners.
Yeah. But as far as back, he played 300 snaps on defense as a rookie. Yeah. And I thought he was fine. He was a 21-year-old kid. Alabama. So he's an intriguing guy to me.
Sean Derek Powell One of the guys I'm looking forward to watching in this game, the young running back, undersized, 5'8", like 173, I think they list him. So he's not very 183, he's small, not a very big running back, but has some bursts. Like Montreal Johnson early in camp was that guy. He's been injured. Sean Derek Powell has started to make some plays, stacking some days together.
His numbers in college were crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was D2, but
Central Arkansas, right?
Central Arkansas. He averaged 8.2 yards per carry his last year there, and 7.2 the year before. On any level, that's impressive. So yeah, he's definitely a guy. Those young running backs are, because they're going to get a ton of reps. I mean, if Johnson can't play, I mean, obviously Saquon's not going to play. AJ Dillon might not play.
Oh, that's an interesting one. We can talk about that later in the week, like who should play, who shouldn't play.
He doesn't play. So I bet we'll see a lot of Shipley, a lot of Sean Derek Powell, and yeah. What other running backs are on the roster who are healthy?
I don't know how my roster on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, those guys are always fun to see. I'm looking forward to seeing Shipley too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything else you want to hit?
No, good stuff.
Okay. I do want to say my stupid observation of the day. They played Johan Duran's intro music.
Yeah.
New Phillies closer.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun. I like that the Eagles and Phillies play nice these days.
Wasn't always like that.
No.
Oh, you're going to announce this. We're going to announce this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. It's more fun when the teams in the city are pulling for each other.
Yeah, I think you see guys from every team at every game, other teams' games, which is cool. I love seeing that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I was at the Phillies game on Friday for Duran's first appearance.
Oh, cool.
His walkout took longer than his inning. He had a 4-pitch inning, but it was a lot of fun. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we're going to hear all about the Hall of Fame from this weekend.
You deserve a car that thrills you, a car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. At Nissan, we've got everything from turbocharged SUVs to 100% electric vehicles that'll make your heart beat faster. Experience the thrill for yourself and shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today.
Eagles fans, be a part of the Birds takeover in Kansas City with NBC Sports Philadelphia and Philly Sports Trips. Includes optional airfare, hotel, an exclusive pep rally, all-inclusive tailgate, tickets to the game, and more. Book your Eagles ultimate fan experience today. Okay, Roob, let's hear it. I want to know all about your trip.
So before we start, I don't know if you remember, but I guess, the last time I was there was when Doc went in and I got you a Hall of Fame cap.
Yes.
I figure that cap is probably pretty gross by now. You know, you're a big cap guy. So with all your hiking and traveling and, I figure, it might be time for a new cap.
Oh boy, look at this.
Yeah. Here's
thank you.
Your new Hall of Fame cap.
That's very cool. Maybe I'll wear it for the rest of the show. How about that?
Oh no, don't. Okay. Yeah. See how it fits.
Flip.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah. All right. Thank you. That's very kind.
I did some damage at the gift shop. It's like a Macy's. It's unbelievable. But yeah, it was a great few days. And Thursday I got to spend a lot of time with Eric and
just take these stickers off.
Sorry about that.
It's going to bother me.
I left the price tag on. I'm sorry. Forgot about that. Spent a lot of time with him, and a lot of the conversation was just about just those personalities on that team, from Jerome and Andre and Wes, the guys that don't need last names, Reggie, Keith Byers and Keith Jackson do because they have the same first name. But, he only played 7 of his 13 years here, 7 of his 14 years, 3 in New Orleans, 4 with Oakland. But he just has so much reverence for his time here. And that really came through all the times I talked to him. And then, the Enshrinement was yesterday. Yesterday was Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a beautiful day. And I got there really early. I walked around the hall for like an hour and a half on Friday, and I just did another hour yesterday because it's so great. And you miss stuff. The Eagles display, I think I sent you a couple pictures. It's just amazing.
You know what? We talked to Reed Blankenship today, and I wanted to show him that photo from you, and I forgot.
I'll show him tomorrow. Yeah. So it was a display case with Reed's jersey and Devontae's jersey. Mm-hmm. They had another case
from the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Another case had Cooper DeJean's cleats, Nick Sirianni's headset, but it was a big display case kind of honoring all 5 Eagles championships over the years, the 2 Super Bowls, the 3 NFL championships. They had Doug Peterson's sweater that he wore, or top, his top that he wore in the Super Bowl. They had like his Doug Peterson's like cap that he wore. They had some really cool stuff. And then they had like little team photos of the 48 and 49 teams. There's not enough on those. A lot of Bednarik and Van Buren stuff, but there was a big Jalen display as MVP. That was really cool. That was right next to the Reed and Devontae jerseys. And then there was a ton of Eric Allen stuff in there, obviously temporary displays for the year. There was a photo of the 91 Pro Bowl, or the Pro Bowl after the 91 season, where Jerome, Reggie, Clyde, Seth, and Eric Allen all went. So 5 of the 11 defensive starters were down there. And, it was in Hawaii back then. It was the 5 of them with a geisha girl. They all had like those lays, and that was a really cool photo. It was really amazing. There's a photo. I know this is not the right way to do it, but let's see if I can. There was a photo, I guess it was an aerial photo of last year's Eagles celebrating, and I don't know if it was a Super Bowl or what, but it's from above. And they had this photo around an entire wall. And so it looks like, I don't even know if this is going to work, but you can kind of tell. Look at AJ. Look at joy in AJ's face, but it's like from above, and it's the whole group like bringing it in and celebrating. I guess since the Lombardi Trophy's in the middle of them, it was after the Super Bowl. That was a pretty good bet, but some great photos. Eric Hartline, a local photographer, had a photo win their photography contest of Saquon running for a touchdown. He took it from the end zone. You could see Saquon like his face scrunched up, and that was really cool to see. A lot of Eagles stuff this year, and a ton of Eagles fans were there. I met a guy. So I got in there when it opened yesterday.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. How'd you do that so fast?
Yeah, it's a great photo.
Isn't that cool? And they don't list the photographer there, so I wish I knew who took it. But
I mean, it might not have a photographer if maybe it was like the overhead cam.
It could be. Yeah. Could have been a drone. I don't really know. But I went there early when it opened at 8 yesterday morning, and I was the only person in the room with all the Eagles Super Bowl stuff. And I was just kind of looking at it and just kind of marveling at what this franchise has done over the last, 8-10 years. And I was vaguely aware of a guy next to me who was like he wasn't crying, but he was like getting really emotional. And he just said, he didn't even look at me. He said, man, it really seems real when you can look at that stuff. And so we started talking, and he had flown out from California, and he said the last time he was there was when Doc went in. That was the year after the Super Bowl, and Eric Allen goes in the year after this Super Bowl. So he said he always said when Doc goes in, when Eric Allen goes in, I'm going to come out to Canton from LA. He's from Philly, lives in LA. And he had just flown in, and he was just emotional looking at it. And we were talking for a while, and after that I was walking away, and he says, see you in 29. That's when Kelsey goes in. So,
I mean, Super Bowl, what, 28?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. That's not that far off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Jason Kelsey and JP are both eligible, and Fletch. Fletch won't get in first ballot. If he gets in, it'll be later. But good chance Fletch or JP and Kelsey both go in.
That'd be really cool.
I don't know if they split the Eagles O-line vote. I don't know how it's going to work, but they both deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eric's speech was really nice. He talked a lot about
First, I want to know, getting a chance to talk to him before the ceremony, like earlier in the week. What was he like? Was he like nervous about it?
No, he was. Well, he was so calm, and he was just soaking it all. I guess when you wait 24 years, I think he had a lot of time to think about it. He was just enjoying every second of it. He was enjoying fans coming up to him, and he just seemed to be reveling in the whole experience. And it was really cool to see. It was also cool because he's from San Diego, and in his speech he mentioned San Diego and growing up there, and his pee-wee coach and his high school coach. Well, Antonio Gates went in, so there's a lot of like San Diego people there anyway. So they're all cheers. So you got like double the cheers.
That's cool.
Because all the Eagles fans, there are a lot of Eagles fans there. But he talked about the Buddy Ryan teams and the Bud Carson team in '91, that one of the greatest defenses ever. And it was cool. He talked about Jeff Lurie. He was only with Lurie for a year. But he said he wanted to give a shout out to Jeff Lurie for what he's done with the organization and on the championship last year. I thought that was a really classy thing.
Yeah. I mentioned to you that at the Super Bowl in New Orleans, we were waiting to like go on the field after the game and saw him walking out, and he was like on cloud 9.
Yeah.
What a weekend for him. He finds out he's going in the Hall of Fame and then watches his team win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. He played for the Saints for 3 years. He said nobody recognizes him in New Orleans. He says everyone in Philly does, and a lot of people in Oakland. But it was really cool. And, Seth Joyner was there. I talked to Seth yesterday. Clyde was there. Keith Byers, saw Keith. Some other guys, Billy Hess. Billy,
okay.
What do they call him? Hess-Chester from Westchester. He told a story about Jerome. He hadn't played in a preseason game, and I guess a couple of receivers got hurt. And Buddy's like, 84, you get in there. And he was like, this is the first time he's going to play in a preseason game. And Jerome came up to him and started screaming at him, like, because he was a little nervous. And he's like, I don't care if you went to Miami or Westchester, go out there and make some plays.
That's cool.
And he's running out on the field. He's like, how does Jerome know I went to Westchester? So yeah, it was a nice atmosphere. Eric's son, his oldest son, Austin, I don't like the way they do it now. They used to have somebody who would come in and speak for the player going in. Now it's a video. They made some changes that are not, I don't love, but the day was fantastic. And I think everyone.
What was the order?
So he was third. What was your Jared Allen was first? Then
I saw some of the Jared Allen with that cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
It's a good look if you can pull it off.
Yeah.
The cowboy hat with the suit.
Yeah. So he was first, then Sterling Sharp, then Eric, and then Gates.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was weird because like the stadium was kind of empty because just 4 guys going in. That was weird, but there was a lot of Eagles. And when he mentioned Buddy, I mean, and like the relationship between Eagles fans and Buddy Ryan is wild because I mean the guy was 0-3 in the playoffs with 1 touchdown, but he was a personality, and he was. The way he took on management and Norman Brayman is something that I think everybody relates to. Like, I wish I could do that with my boss, and maybe not our current boss.
Yeah, not me.
But I think that's what really resonated. He wasn't afraid to, talk. He questioned authority all the time, and so that was really cool. It was a great day. It was a great few days, and I think we'll be back soon.
Yeah, probably. I don't know if your story is up yet about Seth. I saw you file it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love his outlook on it.
Oh, did you have a chance to read it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I asked Seth, I mean, Seth's the only linebacker in history with 50 interceptions or 50 sacks and 25 interceptions. He's never even been a finalist. And his attitude is, you know what? I played this game because I love the game. I feel so blessed to be able to play it. And I didn't play for honors. I didn't play to be in the Hall of Fame. He said, I'm at peace. And like, he's at the Hall of Fame. And I was like, it's going to be eating at him.
It would eat me up.
Yeah. And he's like, no, he's like, I mean, he was sitting literally like in the 5th row, and there's linebackers he's looking at who he's better than. He knows he's better than, and they know he's better. And yeah, it was really cool to hear him like, and then, he talked about how Eric, it was unfair that he had to wait so long. But when it comes to himself, he's like,
yeah, it's cool.
So, I mean, the senior committee could one day put him in, but there's like 200 candidates every year. And they pick 3.
Log jam. Yeah.
It's a real log jam. So, it was cool seeing him and talking to him. And,
hey, it worked for Harold though.
Yeah, it did.
So.
It did. Harold is a senior. And, who else was? Somebody else, some other Eagle that went in. Was it Tommy McDonald maybe? I'll have to look that up. He went in 98, so he probably had to be.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what his last year was, but yeah. So, and I love the room with all the busts, like Pete Pihos. And
I have to visit.
They have this thing. They have video bios of every Hall of Famer. So you can sort it by position, by team, by year that they went in. So I just clicked on Eagles, and then you get a video of Pete Pihos' highlights.
Really?
And like, I never knew anything about him. They showed a play, and they asked him what his favorite play was. And they showed him on special teams on punt. He didn't block the punt. He literally took it off the punter's foot and ran it back for a touchdown. It's the most amazing thing I've never heard of that play. And so I watched every single Eagle who went in. I watched their it's like a 2-minute video and narrated by, somebody with a voice like the Hall of Fame. And yeah, you got to get out there, Dave. You would love it. And if you go out during during the winter or like anytime from like after the Super Bowl till the spring, it's empty. And it's if you love football, you got to get out there.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you had a good trip.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Let's take a little break. We have a bunch of questions to get to. I didn't answer questions the last couple of days.
Oh, really?
Waiting for you to get back.
We got a logjam of questions.
Definitely logged worse than the senior committee.
Go through questions.
All right. We'll be back in just a second. Mark your calendars. We're headed down the shore for a Phillies watch party. Join us in Sea Isle on August 12th to watch the Phillies face the Reds with raffles, special guests, and more. All right. We're back on the Eagle Eye podcast. If you have an email for us, you have a question, send it to eagleeye@NBCUni. That's NBCUNI.com. QR code on the screen. Roob, let's just get to it. First one here from Glenn. There have been a lot of conversations about the potential advantages and challenges of Quinyon Mitchell following an opponent's number one receiver versus staying in his left cornerback spot. Missing from this conversation has been the challenge of the right cornerback having to rotate as well if Quinyon follows multiple number one receivers. That's two players, not only one, changing positions multiple times a game. Would you and Roob give your thoughts on the pros and cons of this?
I think every cornerback I've ever talked to has been like, put me on the right side, left side, slot, safety. I'll be fine. I can play. I don't remember any corner saying, "Oh, I can't play the left side." I mean, you might need some extra reps, but they're getting the reps. So I like the idea of doing it in the right, like if there's a big gap between the other team's best and second best receivers.
Sure,
I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it does. It's a way to ensure that Q's going to get some balls thrown his way, because if not, teams aren't going to be in a hurry to line up their number one on his side. So
that's why a lot of times you see teams' second best corner have more picks than their best corner.
Yeah. And not getting the ball thrown. And there was a good portion of his rookie season where Quinyon Mitchell didn't see the ball very much.
True.
Toward the end of the season, teams started to throw it his way a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a real fear, is that he's doing his job, but the ball doesn't come his way. And if you don't ever at least think about traveling him, then you're kind of playing into what the offense can want to do to you.
Yeah.
And as far as like, I don't know for sure what Glenn's thinking. I think the bigger issue than, say, Adoree Jackson being like, I can't play on the left side, is more about in game, just making sure that you're lined up properly, but it's not that hard.
If you're just looking for number 17 out there, or number 81.
Yeah, you just follow.
You can do it.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. And I think it's really good that they're getting so much work. I don't know. I wonder what they'll do now with AJ, because he was like following AJ. Like they were playing it like a game. I doubt that they'll like really do that with Devontae, because he lines up in the slot more.
Yeah.
But I think they'll just like on occasion be like, hey, you're on the right side. So just get that kind of you run through the fire drill of flipping side to side like that.
I would think they'd keep doing that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's
next,
a sharp looking cap, by the way. Where'd you get that?
Yeah, it does look good. It's popping, huh?
It is.
It's a good looking hat.
You would not believe, by the way, how much I spent at the gift shop.
I would, because I've been with you to the Super Bowl store
in Minneapolis. In
both.
Oh
right? Yeah. Or maybe we didn't go together in New Orleans, but I was with you in Phoenix.
Because they hadn't opened yet.
Yeah.
Phoenix
was the big one, probably.
Yeah, that was still the dumbest thing. They didn't open until Thursday. The
in New Orleans,
the store in New Orleans.
Yeah, it was weird.
The one in Arizona was open when we got in on Sunday. That's when we did our damage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of damage.
Still paying that loan off.
You know what's funny? It's like I got all my friends' stuff from that one, and I love that logo the best. And then the Eagles lost that Super Bowl. My friends don't want to wear any of that stuff. It is what it is. Okay. Next one is from Nick. Do either of you see a role for Will Shipley this year? Obviously, there's Saquon, but with the addition of A.J. Dillon, I'm not sure I see Will doing a ton offensively, although I think he can contribute if given some snaps.
Yeah, I think he's going to catch some passes on third down. And AJ Dillon's looked better than I expected as a receiver. I think he's done okay with it, but Will
Yeah.
Shipley's such a natural receiver. I don't think he's going to be a huge number, but I could see him getting a couple targets a game on third down.
I think and this might sound weird because AJ Dillon's a veteran. I think I have an easier picture in mind of what a Will Shipley role looks like versus the AJ Dillon role.
Really?
Yeah. Because I think he offers just a different set of skills.
Well, sure.
And it's like it's easier for him to carve out a role, I think. Whereas AJ Dillon, I think it's been a good camp for him because coming in after that neck injury last year, missed the entire season, we didn't know. I didn't know what to expect. I think there was like a really real possibility that he got out of camp this year and it was like, oh, well, this isn't working. He doesn't have it left. You know what I mean? So I think from that standpoint, he looks healthy, looks like he can contribute, looks like he's going to be on the team. So I think it's a win.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like the idea of Shipley being like the 2-minute back, like the old Kenny Gainwell role.
Yeah, and I think that's a receiving role for the most part. I don't know what kind of runner he is. And we saw him have a long run against a team that had given up, and that was great.
57 yards.
57 yards.
Saquon running every step of the way from down the
Saquon
side.
actually beat him to the end zone. He's definitely but I really like him as a receiver. I think that's going to be his role. I mean, if you want to give Saquon a series off, like in the middle of the third quarter, I think it's going to be AJ Dillon that's going to get the series, and not Shipley. Now, it might be both. They could combo it, but I think when all is said and done, AJ's going to have. I think Shipley's going to have more catches than rushing attempts, or more targets. But it'll be interesting to see how it develops. They're both interesting players, and I'm with you. I think I wrote my lead observation today was about that. Like, I didn't have it. I mean, because AJ Dillon's numbers have gone down every year of his career, and he's in his late 20s. I guess he's 27. Coming off that neck, didn't play last year. There was a lot that said maybe he's just not the player he was. I think he looks fine.
Yeah, I agree with that. Think he'll play it all in the preseason? I think he needs to.
I'm going to say no.
I don't know if you can wait for his first hit to be
in 2 years.
Yeah, to be in a real game
against the Cowboys. Well, they might not hit him. Got to catch him to hit him.
Next one. Oh, by the way, we'll carve out a little bit of time for Micah Parsons talk. I want your take on all that. From Shalom. Hey, Reuben, Dave. Huge fan of the show. My question is about Shunderick Powell and how he's been looking in training camp. Being from Central Arkansas, I hope he can make the roster, even though it could be hard to do so. Also, what did Mr. Frank say his favorite book was? He said it on a podcast, and I can't find it.
Favorite book?
I think we're talking favorite books one day, maybe.
Wow, I don't know.
It's tough. We talk a lot.
We say a lot of things that we don't really. I really don't know. I mean, was it like biography, fiction, science fiction? That's from when I was a kid.
I don't know. Shalom, if you remember what the context was, hit us back on the email. Well, I'll try to get you the name of that book. But what do you think about Shunderick Powell?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like Montreal Johnson got hurt after. Like, I haven't seen a lot of them because I missed the the practices when I was a kid. But from what you've said, I mean, he's an intriguing guy. He's little.
There's some bursts there. The problem is, I don't know if they're going to. I kind of think they won't keep 4 running backs on the roster if you don't include a fullback.
Right.
I think it would just be the top 3, and we know who the top 3 are.
Yeah.
But potential practice squad stash, I think that's in play.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is from Andrew. Hey, Dave, hearing you say soft launch to describe Jahad Campbell's snaps with the first team was not on my bingo card for camp this summer. What are the key differences you see this year coming off a Super Bowl compared to the 2023 season?
I'm trying to think what my favorite book is. Because I don't know if I actually have a favorite book. Anyway, what was the question?
The differences we see now in this team coming off the Super Bowl win versus a couple years ago coming off the Super Bowl loss.
They have a better team. They have more talent.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the real difference is that there's less change. Coming off the 22 Super Bowl, you had 2 new coordinators.
Yeah.
and there was just a lot of moving parts going on right then. And, on defense, it was defense this year, even though there are some questions about personnel because they lost some guys. Yeah, Vic Fangio, and it looks crisp already. And I think the guys who were here last year in year 2 of that defense can even get to like more depths of it. So I think they're starting off at like a higher base point than they were clearly in 2023 when they had Sean Desai.
I wonder if he's talking about Michael Chabon, like Wonder Boys. One of my favorite books. You ever read any Chabon?
Mm-mm.
He's fantastic. Yeah. Mysteries of Pittsburgh. Yeah. Anyway. No, I bet that might have been it. Wonder Boys. I think they made it into a movie. Tom Finer would know that. Where's Tom Finer? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of change on defense this year, certainly.
Yeah, but it doesn't like show up on the field. You know what I mean? It doesn't look disjointed.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's sure
it's
true.
All crisp.
I think the having Vic back is huge. And even, Patullo, I mean, he's new as an OC, but he's not new here. So you have that continuity. I don't know. I don't remember what I thought 2 years ago. So, but I like what I've seen so far this year.
And I think there's a danger, too, in trying to remember what you thought.
Yeah.
And there being some revisionist history based on
Definitely
the outcome. Like, I don't know if in the moment we were, even some things that in hindsight should have been some alarms going off. I don't think we necessarily saw them then. Because in hindsight, I want to say the pressure got to them of having to repeat after all that. Because I think there is some natural, like, sure, there's pressure on the Eagles now to try to get back to the Super Bowl, even though they don't want to talk about it in those terms. But when you don't win, and now you gotta, it's almost like, if we'll use Nick's metaphor, right? You're almost at the top of the mountain, then you fall all the way back down. You got to climb back up again. That seems more daunting than reaching the peak, walking down and walking back up.
I mean, they were 10-1 also. Like, I mean, I think I picked them to go like
they were 10-1, but it was
they killed Buffalo. Yeah. They beat Buffalo. I mean, they had some good wins in there. Smoke and mirrors a little bit to get to 10-1.
A little bit, yeah, a lot bit.
But they were 10-1, and I certainly, I mean, at that point, I wasn't thinking road wild card loss. It was a crazy year. The less we talk about that, the better. Would they lose 6 of their last 7 after that?
It was ugly.
That Tampa playoff game, like, it played out exactly like, I mean, there wasn't a single surprise in that game.
We went into that game knowing they had no chance.
Remember we did that appearance? Where were we?
We were at Wicked Wolf in Center City.
Oh, yeah.
We had a Q&A, a live Q&A that they'd planned like months in advance into the playoffs. They probably planned it when they were 10-1.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be like a big pep rally. We go up there and answer questions.
People were like, do they have any chance? We're like, no.
We're talking about like, is the coach going to survive this? Like, yeah.
You could see that one coming a mile away.
All right. Next question is from Jane. Ian Book is an elite quarterback tennis. We know who her favorite book is. It's Ian Book.
Oh.
Hey guys, I'll say now that this is not football related, but my dad got me into your podcast this season, and one of his selling points was that Roob is a big They Might Be Giants fan. That's my favorite band of all time, and I was wondering if you have a favorite song or album by them.
Wow, favorite song by They Might Be Giants. I would probably say either Mesopotamians. It's just brilliant. Or and they're freaking geniuses, those two guys, Linnell and Flansburgh. Or James K. Polk, the story of President Polk. Don't Let's Start is up there. Put Your Hand Aside the Puppet Head. They're geniuses, those two guys. It's funny. They were playing in Houston when I was out there with Villanova. So the night before Villanova won the national title, the one over Oklahoma, or the one over North Carolina after they beat Oklahoma, when Allen Iverson went in the Hall of Fame, I walked over to a place in Houston and saw They Might Be Giants. And the next day I saw Villanova win the national title. Yeah. So those are some of them. Did she list hers?
No.
She's right back and let's know what yours are.
Okay. Yeah. You go ahead and do that, Jane. Next one is from John. Hey, David and Roob, greetings from Southern Lancaster County. Does Reed Blankenship's humble beginnings as an undrafted free agent hinder his bargaining power for a contract extension? I've been a fan of his since he picked off Aaron Rodgers as a rookie. He's been the ultimate pro and has steadily improved. I would hate to see him go because the Eagles don't want to pay a UDFA. I love the pod and thanks in advance.
I don't think, I mean, after 4 years, that's not going to be.
You know what? I actually think there's something to it. I think a draft label sticks with you for longer than it should.
I think he'll get fair market value. I don't see Howie being a guy that's going to, like, he's not going to get a huge contract. Mm-hmm. I think he's a good, solid player. Maybe, I mean, those guys, that second contract's huge for him because their first contract was nothing.
Yeah.
So, it's an interesting question. Maybe you're onto something, but I just don't think it's
in general. I think draft pedigree sticks with players longer than it should. Now, some of that
you're at a higher point. Like if you get a certain percentage raise, if you're already making like $5 million a year, but he's
that's not really how we talk about football contracts, like raises.
Yeah, but it's a percentage increase. I mean, and if you're at a really low number, you can get a big percentage increase and not be one of the top 10. He's not going to be like one of the top 10 highest paid safeties. I don't see that negotiation being a problem.
Okay. Surprised it hasn't happened yet. He's like really the only contract thing they have hanging over them.
Yeah.
Unlike the rest of the NFC.
Yeah, that's fair. Good player, just always in the right place, smart, tough. He's really good. And it was so cool seeing his jersey in the Hall of Fame.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
to go from the UDFA who like no one gave a shot to, and
$5,000 bonus, right?
It was something like that. Second lowest of that class, above only a guy who didn't get any signing bonus.
Who was that? Do you remember?
I think it was Ali Fayyad, the edge rusher.
How do you know that? You scare me sometimes.
Yeah, but I know that and not stuff I should know. So the Micah Parsons stuff.
Yeah.
Were you following it while in Ohio?
Yeah.
Pretty wild, right?
Yeah, they do have TVs.
Well, I didn't know if you were I didn't know if you're really following it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I mean, and Jerry just brings this stuff on himself. And there's a reason they've won 3 playoff games since 1996. There's a reason.
Yeah, he's the best thing the rest of the NFC has going for it.
I was thinking when you do your 25 most important Eagles, you should put Jerry in the top 10.
It's not crazy. We played that so on Bird's Huddle on Friday.
Yeah.
I asked if we could dig that clip up from the season this year where Jerry's on the sideline and some Eagles fans are like, Jerry, we love what you're doing. Yeah. Keep it up. And he's just oblivious, smiling, thank you.
And the crazy thing about the Cowboys, they're talented. They always have good players. And they get to the playoffs and they just implode. And it's so much fun. And if they ever had a real general manager, and maybe Jerry knows something because they get good players, but I mean, there's something really, really amiss in that organization because nobody's happy. They never win anything. And they're always a disappointment. And people, and they win their 12 games when Dak's healthy. And then it's just, I mean, I think back to that play. What was it? Tony Romo fumble a snap on the game-winning field goal, and then he picked it up and got tackled at the 1-inch line. I mean, I just think of all the things that, and it's funny because at the Hall of Fame, they have the NFL by decade, so they have the 70s, 80s, 90s. They have highlights of that decade. And all the Cowboys fans were at the 90s, and all the Eagles fans were at the current. You see, there was 10 Cowboys jerseys looking at the 90s. Oh yeah, that was a great team, Michael Irvin. It's living in the past.
Can you imagine not paying Micah Parsons?
What are they doing? What are you thinking?
I mean, and he's the guy. He's an emotional guy.
Yeah.
Even more reason to take care of it so it doesn't become a thing.
Yeah. And it's one thing to have a contract impasse. It's another thing to like just rip on the guy for getting hurt.
Yeah.
After the way he's played his career. Unbelievable.
Kind of strange. Look, I think ultimately they're going to pay him and he's going to stay there.
Yeah, but the damage has been done.
I think a lot of damage has been
done.
I
think there's something to that. And I think that's one thing Howie's avoided. Like the Ertz thing, it didn't really get ugly. Kind of the hair got ugly.
Yeah.
But Howie's never really pissed players off, because even if
he used to
back in the old days, but even if like the player doesn't get exactly what he wants, everything is done in a classy way. There's always communication.
They try to be upfront.
Yeah.
They don't look, they're not batting 1,000 at that.
No.
But at least for like key players, they're trying to be even CJ, like when they traded him, they tried to explain what they were thinking and the reasoning. He wasn't happy with it, but I give them credit for at least trying to be upfront about stuff.
Yeah. I think it's a huge part of being a GM, because if your players aren't happy, that locker room goes downhill in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got players talking, oh, they did this to me, they did that to me, they did that to you.
Yeah.
You never hear that stuff.
Imagine it in Dallas right now. Players who have played with Michael Parsons and see how good he is, watching him not get paid. If you're like another player, we're not paying that guy.
Yeah. And you're trying to get ready for a season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to end there or you want to do one more?
Let's do one more.
All right, one more. This one is from Michael from Toronto. Hi, Dave and Roob. Loving the daily pods. Your Eagles camp coverage has been top tier. You've struck a great balance between fan excitement and the grounded reality of camp, especially when it comes to managing expectations around certain players. I wanted to ask about Keely Ringo. You've both been pretty high on him in the past. Has what you've seen this camp made you rethink that evaluation at all? Do you still see a path for him as a future starting corner in Philly? There's a second part of this we'll get to.
Yeah, he had a tough first few days. It seems like he's rebounded. I still think he's a young kid. I still think the future's bright for him.
Yeah, and this is the second part. I know he's still really young. I was actually surprised to see he's the same age as Andrew Makuba and even younger than Mac McWilliams, both of whom were drafted just this year.
Yeah.
Are fans jumping the gun with their concerns about his camp performance? And this was probably sent in before he started the rebound a little bit.
Yeah. And, I think like playing cornerback, there's so much is confidence. And I just wonder if his confidence was like, if you get beat a few times in practice, it can have an effect on you. And it seems like maybe he's kind of regrouped from that standpoint.
I should mention today when he had his pass break. I don't know if I mentioned it. He had a big pass break up on Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
Timed it perfectly, got there, knocked the ball free, and then did a little pose after. And with cornerbacks, I think that the little pose matters because it's a position where you need confidence.
Yeah. And it can come and go. And maybe it went a little bit early and maybe it's coming back.
Yeah. I think the one thing I've learned about the cornerback battle this summer is it's going to take a while to play out.
It's going to be back and forth maybe until, a week before the season starts.
Gut feeling?
Keely.
I'm still there.
Yeah.
Me too. All right. Eagle-eyed NBCUni.com. QR code's on the screen.
This
Pause
is fun.
it.
I missed this, but I got to say Barrett and Ashland both did a great job. I watched their pods. So if you ever want to bring them in, give me a day off. That's okay.
QR code is on the screen if you want to scan that. You picked a weird spot to jump
I don't know. I need reps. I'm out of practice.
That's all right. Well, we're happy to have you back. Glad you had a good time out there in Canton. If you appreciate the pod and you love all the daily pods, please rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, please click the like button and subscribe there as well. Roob, this is where I say any final thoughts.
No, it's great to be back.
Sounds good. For Roob and Frank, I'm Dave Zangaro. This has been Eagle Eye, presented by Nissan. We'll talk to you soon.